everyone, Eric Watson here, freelance writer, player of games, writer, forge, recorder videos, and tabletop role-playing aficionado. Welcome to the Monday edition of bi-weekly behind-the-scenes DM-only live stream Crafting the Deep, in which I build, write, and prepare for our next session of Call from the Deep. If you're playing characters Gottwald, Mock, Savra, or Twirl, this stream is not meant for you. We'll be full of spoilers, but for the rest of you, welcome to Total Solar Eclipse Monday. We stream our D&D sessions live on YouTube every Friday. You can join our official Discord server with invite link in the description below. If you'd like to support the channel, please check out patreon.com/RogueWatson for our campaign. We use Roll20.net for streaming. I use OBS Studio. Yes, I was on the path of totality today for the solar eclipse. It was really fucking cool. We got to go out in our backyard. We had the special glasses and everything, and watch as the moon eclipsed the sun, and that was so cool. God, it was cool. Just, I don't know, like you read about it, you hear about it, you can watch it, you know, on YouTube and stuff, but to experience it live is just, you almost get like chills. It's like, this is just a natural phenomenon that I'm experiencing right now, and it literally turns everything into, it's not like night, but it's like dusk. It basically turns it to like sunset, and like we have like even solar screens on our house, and like all of a sudden you could like see completely into our house. All the lights are on, like if it was evening time. Like, it's just bananas, and it lasted for about 4 minutes like that, completely dark with the disc totally there, and then it started like moving beyond there. Really cool. They actually closed the schools down around here because they just figured it'd be a shit show with everybody wanting to go see the eclipse. So that was kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. Apparently they happen quite a bit every 18 months or something. I looked up. It happens somewhere on Earth essentially, but it's just kind of dumbass luck depending on where, because it's only like 100 miles wide of like the stretch, you know, that it actually crosses for the total eclipse. And man, that was so damn cool. So yeah, that was today's big news. I honestly haven't done any D&D prep. I had the world's craziest weekend. I won't go into it. I spent 20 minutes on the Patron Monday update bitching about my incredibly exhausting weekend, to where we didn't even play Baldur's Gate. I had to like cancel Baldur's Gate. I was like, no, I can't. I'm going to bed. So I've not done any work. Thankfully, patron and fan of the show, Bear Gardner, has definitely done work and put in the remainder of the map. So now we are fully equipped with all 3 gorgeous levels of the Sahuagin Stronghold that I will be using. You can see here's level 3. I don't remember if we had this last time, but I'm showing it now. Level 3, which we'll probably be starting to prep now, is here. And then we've got level 2, which is, I believe, brand new right here. So no question that this shit is all underwater, which looks awesome. I think we've had level 1 for a little while yet, but I don't think we're going to start at level 1. As I mentioned, I think we're going to be starting at level 3 because of, it just makes sense for an infiltration mission to not go in the front fucking door. I think I've mentioned this countless times. So I'm kind of prepping. I'm assuming the party was going to come in this way. I kind of need to have a backup plan in case they don't end up just going right to the surface. And then I also realized, if the players have some kind of just stupid or some distraction thing that fails, because partly where we left it off at the end of last session was, okay, you've got the lizard folk who will help you with whatever plan you've got. If they think about it, they may go back to Thornhold and even say, hey, can you guys help us? Which, you know, that'd just be kind of a persuasion check or something, because they'll already be incentivized to help the players help, you know, disrupt or dismantle the Sahuagin threat. Then they've got all these different allies they can use, and more power to them. And depending on whatever, I just want them to come up with the solution and not me. But if hopefully it's something that can involve some kind of risk or consequence system, then clearly the consequence is just going to have to be the Sahuagin finding them, and at least one patrol finding them. So maybe if it involves a stealth check or something. Mac does have Pass Without Trace, which reminded us all last time. So I don't think, maybe Pass Without Trace will work out pretty well for them. I think it was already a +10 stealth check, so it's not a guarantee like group invisibility or anything, but it is a pretty good method to use. But I've got 2 maps that we brought out. Wow, it's very zoomed out. Jeez. Those are big Sahuagin maps, aren't they? This one is if they take their rowboats from there. So I'm assuming, which is kind of what we have to do as DMs, that the party is not going to just drive their huge ass ship up to the entrance of the dungeon. That would be immediately, because they already saw what happens, right? They get swarmed by Sahuagin. That was just one patrol. Like, they would just be countless Sahuagin coming at them. It just wouldn't really be a viable thing to do. But they could take their little rowboats, keelboats, whatever, and use those to get to the island, in which case you don't have to swim, but you may be seen because you're on boats, unless you've got some other distraction method. So I've got this map here, which is just from the Quick Encounters Ships 1 pack, I believe, from Gabriel Picard in the Roll20 Marketplace. And then in case they decide to swim underwater and really do some Navy SEAL shit, then I've got this map, which is from Quick Encounters. Which one is this? Seafloor? Quick Encounters Seafloor maps. So that provides us with kind of, I don't know, just what look like underwater maps, I guess. It almost looks like you're kind of top-down looking, which I guess we're always top-down. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I found one that was kind of like shallows to deeper end, which I feel like would be appropriate for going from... yes, he's in their side of the planet, Demnix. My brother from down under. Because I believe the dungeon is somewhat near the coast. So we've got these maps in case, in emergency, I need to throw the players onto an encounter map and say, okay, you guys, whatever plan you worked or whatever check you made has failed. Now you have to deal with a Sahuagin patrol. In terms of what I can use for a patrol, I believe it even mentions what they have for patrols in here. There we go. Sahuagin routinely send patrols out on level 2 of the fortress as a security measure. Unless characters are extremely stealthy and careful, they're bound to encounter a patrol at some point. The guard patrol attacks on sight unless the characters are disguised. We have some other way to make it appear there's a review. Now keep in mind, again, I'm changing my version of this module so that the Sahuagin are much more active outside of the dungeon than the just waiting inside for the party to come in and kick their doors in. Much more active, and it's like a whole layer. So I'm kind of taking the patrol concept and saying, okay, but they're actually patrolling like outside of their base. Yes, they've got guard posts inside, but they're actively moving around outside, which, if you notice, I actually basically used their guard patrol for the Sahuagin encounter 2 sessions ago, which was 5 Sahuagin, a Sahuagin champion, and then I actually used 4 Sahuagin Coral Smashers instead of 1, but I put all 4 of them in the water, and they were attacking the ship at the time. So they actually didn't really face 4 of them. In fact, I don't think any of those 4 actually attacked the party. But even with 5 Sahuagin and 1 champion, granted, Twirl kind of took himself out of the fight to kind of persuade the other ones, but that, like, did terrible things to the party. So, like, damn, I was shocked by how powerful these Sahuagin are. The champion, I mean, just, yeah, the fact they have Blood Frenzy, multi-attack makes them pretty deadly, and then the champion, I believe, has triple attack. So, kind of a nasty patrol. I don't know if I actually want to keep it this nasty, just because the party already kind of faced a patrol like this. So, I don't know. I may have to tone it down a little bit, just because throwing enemies at them before they even make it inside feels like, all right, let's get into this freaking dungeon already. But there should be consequences. So maybe it would just be the Sahuagin without somebody else. Maybe the Coral Smasher leads them. Maybe I take out the champion. So I'm actually willing to downscale a patrol that they make it into. Also, they did long rest, notice, but they did it before the Katablapas fight. God damn it, I thought I'd never say that word again. So, technically, if they wanted to go back to Thornhold and be like, let's just get a long rest before we do all this, I would probably let them get away with that, although that's really like, all right, you've had 2 encounters. Well, I guess a little bit more with the Lizard Folk, haven't they? They've had a couple with the Swamp Thing in an adventuring day. That's really shortening it up. But I also know that going to this dungeon fully rested is probably the better way to go. So it's one of those things where if they bring it up that they should long rest before doing this, I would probably let them, but I would not bring it up myself and recommend them to do it just as a way of, you've got a big-ass dungeon coming through that you don't know about. But I would not poo-poo it if they were like, hey, can we get another long rest? It's like, yeah, it would probably be in your best interest to do that, because it's a giant 3-level, like 60-room dungeon that you're fixing to have to infiltrate, and it's going to be crazy. All right, so that's the encounter idea. So unfortunately, a big part of the first like half or third of this Friday session is I have no idea how it's going to work. It's terrifying and exciting for me because I'm really giving them the reins to do whatever. I've given them the infiltration points. I can even be more specific and be like, look, there's 2 in the water, one of which was our main entrance. It's probably well guarded. Another one at the top is now, at the base of the water, so it's probably well guarded. However, we think there's this one that's not as well guarded because of reasons, and that's the one we think you should take. So I will recommend them the path they take, which a lot of times, at least my group is like, okay, the DM's like telling us this is the point of entry, and they will just accept that as the way forward. But if we need to, I will prep at least the first room. In fact, we might as well do that now, of level 1 in case they decide to just break down the front door, which I don't think is a great idea for their. I mean, it's just terrible. Even though that's what the module is designed to do, which really doesn't make any sense to me. Let's see. Let's block this off. I guess I'll have to do it like that. So it just faces nothing. It's fine. I don't see us spending any time out here. All right, so they'd start here on this, which this is water. I guess if I was smart, is the black part of the map? It must be. So this is actually supposed to be water around here, but it could be dark waters. That's fine. And then we can draw some very basic dynamic lighting in here. I pretty much have, like 100% zoom is almost too zoomed for this. There's a giant battle gong where they can literally warn people. Like, it's a terrible way to get in this dungeon. Which is why I'm warning them against it. But we will prepare it just in case. In fact, I think there's a giant Sahuagin force here. And I could just copy and paste the tokens from the old map onto this one if they are decent tokens. Which, Ghost of Saltmarsh should be decent. Because that's official stuff. Alright, I'll make sure that this has dynamic lighting. I mean, if they enter here, this is going to be all one battle. I don't think they're going to even make it past this first room. I wouldn't expect. Try not to get in the habit of drawing dynamic lighting all in one go, and instead create individual blocks in case I have to move something. There we go. This one. And yet, I remember last time I talked to folks, they were like, it seems like everybody just went into Area 1. The front door. Even though it's supposed to be kind of a stealthy thing. Or if not, maybe they'll pull a Sunblight, right? Maybe they'll be like, all right, let's... Or a Star Wars Chewbacca thing, where it's like, one of you, we're like bringing in captive. But it's so hard here because they're Sahuagin creatures. Like, it's... I don't know. It seems really difficult to pull that off, and I don't think any of the players have those kind of magical means. All right, that might be enough dynamic lighting for Area 1, minus the doors. There's no lights in here either. I think that's a portcullis right there, so that might be a window. Which I do like that they have windows that can be used for like jail cells and portcullises and things. And yet the front room isn't even locked. And they will only enter 13 of them. Yeah. What's the over-under? Ooh, that'd be a great one to decide on a crafting stream. What is the over-under, Sylvan and the rest of y'all, on how many... I guess I should set the over-under and everybody said, yeah. So if it's a 60-room dungeon, if I put the over-under at like... 19 and a half. Would you all say under or over for the number of rooms they actually even walk into or see? So in other words, will they even see a third of this dungeon? I would probably take the over, but like, gosh, how many level 1 I could see them skipping just because level 2 does have a lot of little bullshit rooms in there. And they're going to have to make it like level 2 is going to be part of their main quest. So bare minimum they're going to come in at level 3 and have to make their way up to level 2. And then they could either go down to level 3 to escape or go up to level 1 to escape. So I could see them using level 1 as an escape plan, which hopefully would be way more interesting because it's so empty. But if you create like a chase sequence somehow, which would actually be really tricky to do on a virtual tabletop versus Theater of the Mind, I think. But I could see level 1 being useful for that. James is taking the under. All right. I don't think we're going to see even a third of that. So I'm going to make all this work, all this beautiful map design. I'm not necessarily disagreeing. It would be pretty funny. All right, so these are all the creatures in this first room, which is basically like half the roster on level 1, I think. Oh dear, they're all... That's funny. Forgot they did that with the map. And the map was subdivided. So it's going to be a slight pain in the ass because all the tokens are tiny. This would actually be a lot quicker if we just copy and paste. There we go. Champion, and there's 2 more down here. I don't know why every other one has a nameplate and others don't. That's weird. So it's basically equivalent to a Sahuagin Patrol, which is still a pretty big battalion to deal with. So level 1, north entrance and guard posts. During the day, the doors are barred on the inside. At night, the doors are unbarred, and Sahuagin use the doors to access the causeway and enter the marsh, which is not the case here. It's just on water. There's no causeway here for me. Sahuagin guards and anyone are overconfident they're keeping a close eye on that. That's right. There's a whole thing about how you can actually deceive them. All right, but mine are smarter and more tactical than this. The guards can be tricked into opening doors, and Sahuagin intelligence is high, so it will not be an easy task. Everyone can communicate with the Sahuagin. How do you communicate with the Sahuagin? Don't they speak their own bullshit Sahuagin language? Yep, right there. Language. Bullshit Sahuagin. There's a lot of monsters that like only speak their monster language. Convince the guards to open the door for the party with a DC 18 charisma check. Doors are not magically locked to be opened with appropriate spells or enough brawn. So locking the door. AC 16, 45 hit points and a damage threshold of 12. Those are some pretty solid doors. Or character making a DC 18 athletics check, which is pretty easy for our Mr. Plus 11 Minotaur. If the door is forced open, one of the Sahuagin immediately moves toward the west wall to ring the gong, while the remaining guards defend the entrance. If this creature is slain or otherwise prevented from ringing the gong, no other defender takes its place. That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't everybody try to ring the damn gong? Sahuagin uses its action to ring the gong. If the gong is rung 3 times, the Sahuagin in areas 2 and 12 recognize the alert signal and rush to the scene as quickly as possible. The gong cannot be heard on any other level of the fortress. Well, that seems like a security flaw. 2 Sahuagin Station Area 2 are not initially visible. The characters are responsible for being guarded with a gate that separates the entrance from the rest of the lair. So I guess they're more like here. The gate is normally closed and down. It is raised and lowered by means of a chain and pulley mechanism fastened on the north wall inside Area 2 on the east side of the gate, which is actually the more difficult thing to get past. It takes 3 rounds to raise or lower the gate. When an emergency device allows the raised gate to be dropped in a split second with a muffled clang. Oh, the gate can also be opened with a DC 18 athletics check. Gosh. You really... Fighters do become a Hulk, like literal Hulks at some point. But I guess it's appropriate because spellcasters just have a knock spell at level 2 or whatever. A large net is installed on the ceiling on the corridor leading from Area 1 to the gate that blocks into Area 2. The net falls when a creature in Area 2 releases the rope that holds it in place. The net can easily be spotted by anyone who looks toward the ceiling. There's a net trap like here, right in front of the door. Creature standing under the net as it falls must make a DC Dex saving throw, be restrained. A creature must then make a DC 14 strength check to free itself or another creature from the net. That does suck that you get trapped and you have to use your action, or if the net takes 30 slashing damage. All right. A 10-foot square net. So it's this whole section right here. Is there a hidden trap thing on the map? There is not. Damn it. I'm able to find where they have those. Trap things under assets. The ones that like look like the red tea. I need my red tea. So room 1 and room 2. Oh, it's in the hallway north of it. Okay. The corridor leading from area 1 to the gate that blocks in area 2. All right. Well, the only bummer about that placement is it feels like they're most likely to hit this spot when they're not in combat. So being hit by a net trap when you're not in combat and there's not enemies around is super anticlimactic. Unless we put the net trap here at the very entrance when they're coming through the door. Then that would be a lot more exciting, I think. I just don't picture anybody being here while there's still enemies in this room. Right? And then if they're stuck in the net, but they're stuck on this side with the gate, then what are these guys doing? They're just hurling their javelins at them, I guess. Maybe you could stab somebody through the gates. I don't know why I copied and pasted them so much, because they didn't have the bottom overlapping HP bar. As all tokens should have. Fools. 4, 5, 6. I gotta roll hit points for everybody as well. Let's keep some guys over here. And our champion. We will keep you over here. And then we can roll for everybody's hit points. Not much discrepancy there. So, area 12. It's the only other... Oops, that's the wrong map. I guess I put the Danger Dunwater map in there. Gosh, how far away is area 12? Is that guard post way the fuck down here? It is. Wow. That gong summons these guys? Gosh, how many rounds would you have to track of them reaching the party? That would suck. But it doesn't go beyond that, huh? I think it's a question of me just like spawning people from somewhere because I don't want to track them coming all the way from that room. They're so tiny. It's almost the same. It's got 2 priestesses and 2 smashers instead of the champion, I guess. Yeah, I think I've already complained about this first level, just how empty it is, and it's being renovated, so there's just not much going on, and the Sahuagin don't like to be up here, but they still have to guard it. It's a long... How much time does it take to get the guards there? It is approximately 200 feet, followed by 140 feet. So we're looking like 350 feet. If the gong is rung, then somehow people 350 feet away hear it and they rush to the battle. If they dash every action, they have a speed of 30 feet. Lord. It's the SAT question here. So they can move 60 feet in a round. What's the math on that? It's the 350 divided by 60 is 5.83. So it would take them 6 rounds to reach the party. It is not something the DM is going to track. So instead, we're going to have just enemies that spawn off screen, I think. That would possibly join it. But it feels weird that they would have this alarm system at the entrance and the alarm system like barely... Like, I feel like what the alarm would do is cause half these guys to move up and investigate and the other half to go warn the others. And then you've kind of woken up the entire fucking dungeon. Again, don't go through the main door, is what I've been saying. All right, that's enough of level 1, because I don't think it's going to happen. Really don't think we're going to end up there. Just in case, we've got tokens, we've got dynamic lighting. What I think is going to happen is we're going to enter in at level 3, approximately 70 or 80 feet below the water. Whatever plan the party comes up with, they'll have to start their underwater excursion, enter through here. There's no guards whatsoever. However, there's also no illumination anywhere. Is that under Sahuagin Stronghold? No permanent light sources exist inside the strongholds, and Sahuagin have no need of them. Although it looks like there are sections of level 1 that do have torches where slaves are working, I guess, because non-Sahuagin need light. Areas 19 and 37 are the only places in the fortress not shrouded in darkness. Well, 37 is not on level 1, is it? 37 is the temple. Okay. So it must have like magical light. Is the one they say 19 is probably where they're working on the stairs at level 1, I assume. Yes, I am correct. Okay. Maybe I should go ahead and mark those now with lighting. So level 2. I'm not sure what level 2 is lit by, but it does say it's got lighting there. So let's put our little torchies. Maybe these things are all lit up. I don't know. And we've got level 1. And when movement was 120 feet around. What? And around was 1 minute. Okay. Well, I guess if it's a minute, you could move that far in a minute. Oh yeah, there's the light. Look at you, bear. Give me some light sources. Appreciate you. Let's light that suck. Oh yeah, enable dynamic lighting. Sorry. Light those suckers up. All right, the rest is pitch dark, which I think they have ways of getting around that. This is the least dark vision having party, but I know Mac can straight up cast dark vision, although it's level 2 spell. And then Gottwald has, I think one of his runes gives him dark vision. And then maybe the players have some other kind of spell or something. I don't know, but hopefully they got ways. They gotta have ways at this point. They're level, what, 7? 7th level. All right, so level 3, we infiltrate. There's no guards. There's nothing on this north side in Area 61. It's literally, we're basically going in reverse of this dungeon. Not been altered. Boom. We arrive in, that's right, that's not ordered in correct numbers. Room 50 is next. I don't know why it jumps around like this. Room 50 is the cell. Now, I like the idea of sneaking in through the back door of the cells, but the bummer is they immediately meet with like multiple social encounters and characters that are super helpful for them, which is nice that they can do that, but like one of their sub-objectives was to rescue the Triton partner of Harley's, and they immediately find him in one of the cells, so it seems a little easy, but the rest of their adventure is going to be hard. And at least they'll get an update from somebody saying, hey, yeah, they take some of the prisoners into the arena, where they just let them, like a few of the ones who can fight really well. And of course, that's where we'll put Master Sliver and have them have to deal with the arena in some way. I don't know if the arena has like its own area. I guess I'll need to look up like the champions rooms or something. Maybe those are being used as kind of a prisoner den. And they'll also be able to update on them, like, yeah, there's level 2 seems to be where all the muckety mucks are hanging out at. How many rounds I can dash in a row with con checks? Oh, yeah. I hadn't even thought about that rule. So there's 3 champions. That's pretty nasty to start it off with. I don't know if I actually want to use 3 champions. Again, those Sahuagin champions are CR3, triple attack, 70 hit points apiece. And there's 3 of them together. Each of those were like kind of a boss of a patrol. I feel like I should never have more than one of those because they always feel like a mini boss. Also, this might be a good opportunity to use a unique Sahuagin because it'd be like a jailer. 3 Sahuagin champions are torturing a Lokotha here. That's our Lokotha friend Borgus. It's got that hilarious artwork. Looks like a giant catfish dude. Absolutely lovely. He's got a sea lion pet. No, actually, he's not the one with the sea lion, is he? Isn't he the one with the eel? And it's the other guy with the sea lion. Yeah, the fate of his giant eel companion. Which we saw forced into cell 50 by the Sahuagin. He asked characters to help him in going to the eel's aid without delay. Fortunately, they have the eel's body right here. Alas. I do like this guy. I think we may have to use him, as I think Demnix recommended the Admiral Akbar voice. I don't know if I can pull that off. There's a Lokotha and there's a Lokotha Hunter. What is that stat block? He's a CR half with 22 hit points. He's basically a bandit stat block with a spear. I guess he wouldn't even have a weapon, but maybe he's got a weapon somewhere he can use. Odds of this guy surviving. But we'll throw you in there. Have I put dynamic lighting in here yet? Okay, I did. I did add dynamic lighting, at least into this room. Why are they torturing this guy? They ever talk about that? Doesn't really say why they're torturing this particular character. Okay. What is his motivation? Does it talk about who this guy is or like what his deal is? Did it ever mention anything about this guy? Resilient and proud fish folk. Final enemy. Yeah, it just says that same things. No idea why he's there. Okay, he's just one of the many victims of the Sahuagin, I guess. Or we remove him and just focus on the Triton ally, which is also here. I've established the fact that they've captured people left and right, but I need to have... Maybe there's a separate area where they keep people who can't breathe water. Maybe there's a... I'll have to look more closely at some of the rooms if I can convert one of the rooms into like kind of an air bubble type area, because I've already established that's something the Sahuagin can do, is create these, I don't know, maybe stones that have this air bubble quality to them. One cell is empty. One cell has the sea lion that belongs to the Triton. We may... What is it? Along with its Triton master is now being caged till a suitable opponent we found to pit against it in the arena. The Triton is not with the characters. The door is open. The sea lion attacks with extreme ferocity. The Triton is with the characters. You can calm and control the sea lion. Sea lion can only hold its breath for 15 minutes, BT dubs. I don't... I was like, this isn't an aquatic... I mean, it is aquatic, but it doesn't live underwater, so I don't think it would make sense that this creature would even be here, so we're probably going to get rid of the sea lion. Decay-filled cell, which is where the dead eel is. Die in the confined space. Cell, continued pressure and successful DC-13 strength check eventually opens the door. So that the seal is actually blocking this door partially. Cell's only 20 feet square. Things will have extended corridor. So into the fortress area is much smaller. Past the north, the second entrance to the fortress on this level. Yeah, so at some point, this used to be a staircase that led to level 2, but then I guess maybe when it sunk to the bottom, it actually opened up. So maybe those folks shouldn't know about this. I don't know. I forgot what I told them at the end of the last session. I'll have to familiarize, but I think according to the map, it looked like it was going up to the next level, but that is no longer the case. Just lodge the slab, easy to remove when the pass completely, which is 70 feet of water. And he's upset about the death of his companion. He gets revenge on the Sahuagin. Yeah, that could be hilarious. Okay. And the Triton, Kish, captured by the Sahuagin along with a sea lion companion, and being held until a suitable opponent we find him fight in the arena. He's being stripped of his possessions. So just another NPC ally they can find. It does feel weird to throw like 2 NPC allies at them immediately. Which I could move one of them. We could move the Triton somewhere else. Maybe the Triton's the one fighting in the arena that they have to deal with. I feel like it would take away from one or the other if they have 2 allies they can capture. Although having all these empty cells and then the one guy they're torturing, it feels like a waste of cells also. But I don't want the players to just immediately find all the, you know, captives are sent to rescue in the very first room they appear in. So that's the dilemma I'm in right now. And I don't know which Sahuagin to actually throw in here. I mean, I could throw a champion, but if there's some kind of cool, I don't know, unique kind of jailer Sahuagin I can use. I wonder if Monster Man Expanded's got some Sahuagins. Yeah, Sahuagin Hunter. Oh, Call from the Deep actually has a Sahuagin Illithid hybrid. Why haven't we seen that thing yet? Oh, it's actually kind of shitty. Why do I have 22 hit points? It's a fucking part Mind Flayer, man. High Priestess is from Monster Manual Expanded? No, that's from, yeah, Ghost of Saltmarsh. Okay. I guess they're 2 different stat block versions of it. The Raiders we haven't seen in a while. They're the net guys. Sea Witch, Storm Sorcerer, Sahuagin Shark of Sekala, Sahuagin Harpooner, Reaver. God, I have an embarrassment of riches when it comes to stat blocks. Deep Divers from Ghost of Saltmarsh. Ooh, they're like rogues. Blood Frenzy, Dex Chat. They do not have the rogue ability, though. Oh, they're like anglerfish. They have lights. The Lure. The Light of Sekala. Attacks, that's a glaive. 30 feet of deep accuracy. Light must DC 11. Wisdom Saver be charmed until the end of its next turn. A creature charmed this way is incapacitated as it stares at the light. That would kind of be cool for a torturer. You could, like, knock people out with his light. That's straight up from Ghost of Saltmarsh, so I could just drag that guy right in there. What was your hit points like and stuff? Oh my god, 91? Jesus Christ. Okay, so you're like a boss level Sahuagin. Wowzers. Well, we could... Oh, jeez. It's even stronger than the champions, I think. Although his light is not part of his multi-attack. So if he does his light, he's not actually attacking with anybody. And it's kind of a low save, but it is an AoE. Any creature within 30 feet. I would change that to be non-Sahuagin, though. Still, I like the idea of him using his light to, like, knock people out. Maybe just give him with some basic Sahuagins instead. It's the Hunter. Hunter as Slay Foe. Deals an extra 2d8 damage with his weapon if it hits a creature that doesn't have all its hit points. Wow. Just doubles down on the Blood Frenzy thing. CR2. Already got the Baron, already got the Coral Smasher, Champion, High Priestess. Hatchling Swarm. Wave Shaper, which is from Ghost of Saltmarsh. Sounds like a spellcaster. It is. Although it only casts Message and Comprehend languages. That's not the most exciting combat spells. CR5. Does a bunch of damage though, extra cold damage, and as a whirlpool ability. Okay, there's a vortex. That'd be pretty cool to summon during a fight. Constantly pulling people in direction. As a spellcaster, though, you'd much rather have the priestess with her freaking guiding bolts and what, hold person. Storm sorcerer. You got spells, don't you? Ray of Frost, lightning bolt, thunder wave, tidal wave, shatter, and sorcery points with heightened spell and quicken spell. And dealing lightning damage around you. Okay. Oh, there you go. Just an auto attack, shock bolt. It's 3d8 plus 4 lightning damage. That's actually pretty solid too. Can't use reactions. All right. I'm hoping to use a lot of these different kind of Sahuagin because that's going to make it more interesting than fighting a bunch of the same stat block. Although the players at this point are probably pretty frightened of the average Sahuagin. As they should be. So we talked about maybe throwing a deep diver in there. And for some reason I don't have the basic Sahuagin under here. I guess it's under monsters. Right there. I wonder if I should just have the two guys, because these guys are strong. Deep diver's nuts. And yeah, I'm not sure if I want to put the Triton here or not. Yes, we just need to look at all the other rooms and see the best course of action is from there. All right, so from here, they have 3 ways they can go. Obviously, the 3 of their cardinal directions. The arena is going to be the most visible thing. A loud major event, but it's going to be hard for them to deal with the arena during a stealth operation. So the arena is room 53. Central arena lies lower than the rest of the level, which I missed that context the first time I was reading it out, so that's why the math didn't ever work out for me. Walls of the arena rise 30 feet from the floor to the lower edge of the gallery. So there's actually a 30-foot difference between this arena floor and like the lowest gallery here. I don't know if this is supposed to be a ramp that goes down. Maybe it says. Gallery is tiered on 3 levels with 10 feet between levels. The uppermost tier is 50 feet above the floor and the ceiling 10 feet higher than that. Access to the gallery is provided by short passages in the east, south, and west walls. East, south, and west walls. Okay. Okay. So the south one actually is basically tied to the arena. So it's got to be a ramp that goes down. Lowest tier in the center of its south side. The row bench is broken by 3 special seats. Which I guess is down here. For the Baron and Baroness. And for Blade Master Makat. Any Sahuagin lesser rank caught in these seats immediately goes top of the list the next fight in the arena. Important occasions more than 200 Sahuagin fill the arena to watch the sport. But at present, 55 are here. 49 Sahuagin, 5 champions, and Blade Master Makat, who sits apart from the rest in his special seat. Aw, it's got reserved parking spot. All the Sahuagin together with their usual weapons and entertainment. Well, that's going to be fun as hell to drag all these guys over here, isn't it? Copy and paste like a madman. Is that the Sahuagin token I was using? I swear there were multiple. There's a different one. Sinister Secrets. Oh, there's no Sahuagin in that one. Why is there no normal Sahuagin in Final Enemy? That's bizarre. So Blade Master, is that Makat, I assume? Gets his special seat somewhere up here. And a shit ton of Sahuagin. That's gonna be hilarious to like look down here and be like, oh shit, there's a lot of dudes down here. Like, yeah. I don't know how you even deal with this. How many can fit in a Hunger of Hadar? Oh my gosh. Yeah, are we really expecting the players just go insane and say, let's get this party started? Because the DM's gonna lose his mind. Seven. So I need 7 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 49 Sahuagin. Ah. Probably be decently clustered. $49 sounds like a lot, but this is a gigantic area. Can fit a bunch of dudes. Just moving tokens around. And then the champions, if I wanted to add the champions. All right. In the arena proper, 2 Sahuagin are locked in mortal combat, each unarmed and tearing together with vicious claws and bone-crunching fights, or settling a major agreement with Sahuagin manner. Death to the duel using only nature's weapons. They have no possessions. If the characters enter any part of the arena, what they can see depends on their point of entry and the extent of their precautions and concealment. Okay. Anyone entering the arena floor draws immediate attention unless they are invisible or otherwise cloaked from view. If the Sahuagin spot intruders, the crowd erupts into chaos. The 5 champions rush forward to attack, while 1d6 plus 4 Sahuagin swim down to block the exit. The rest watch the fight with glee, rushing to join the fight if 3 more champions are slain, or the characters rush past the Sahuagin guarding the exit. An intrusion in the gallery is not as dangerous, since the Sahuagin are absorbed by the battle taking place below. Successful DC 10 stealth check allows the character to avoid drawing attention as long as they don't attempt to interact with the Sahuagin. Wow. The rest watch and cheer the fight, joining more than half the attackers. Alright. I feel like we're wasting an opportunity to have these Sahuagin forcing prisoners to battle exotic sea creatures, right? Like, the most boring thing you can do with a arena in enemy territory is just have 2 of those enemies fighting each other. Which you could do that. But I think it'd be more exciting if you got the arena and you saw, like, captive prisoners being forced to fight, I don't know, like a fucking octopus, giant octopus or something. That would be pretty cool. Fortunately, the arena doesn't have... I don't know how that would work. Like, I'm picturing the scene from, what is it, Star Wars Episode 2. The arena scene where they have to fight the alien creatures. They're, like, chained up to rocks and shit. That's a classic, like, prisoners being forced to battle exotic monsters. I don't know what monsters we could do. Something that would be... something that is a water creature. Help me out, folks. What would be a cool creature for... I mean, it could just be an octopus. Shark would be pretty obvious. Sahuagins would obviously be able to control sharks, so that'd be easy for them. I feel like they'd use sharks as like lions, where they just like release sharks in there to make things interesting. Giant lightning eel we never got to properly use before. Giant crabs, giant manta ray, again the giant octopus. Giant things are usually pretty fun. Like a giant seahorse. Yeah, giant electric eel. I don't think I ever got to use my electric eel, did we? Like twice I've tried to use the electric eel, and I think twice we weren't able to actually pull it off. Now, this is something that I don't even know if the players are going to fight this damn thing, but maybe I can motivate them if if a prisoner is being like killed by it. Then I don't know what the fuck they would do. They'd be like, "Oh shit. Like how do we get this person out of it?" If there's a bunch of Sahuagin everywhere. Water weirds is a little, I don't know if Sahuagin could get their hand on water weirds. I think it's got to be some kind of beast, but hopefully it's an exciting beast. That it makes sense that Sahuagin to be able to corral and sort of control, at least in terms of dropping it angrily into an arena and having others fight it. There's only the awkward thing is this is the main path that prisoners and creatures would take, which is the path that the players would see first, which is the northern path, which leads directly into the arena. Which we could even have like a pair of Sahuagin champions standing here, swimming in place. Kind of guarding this entrance. Also, I don't know if I want to have dynamic lighting in here, because a giant sea cucumber. Because I'm picturing a stadium, you actually can, because of its tiered nature, you can kind of see up into a stadium from down there. So it's kind of hard to pull that off with Roll20, and I think you lose a lot of the cool appeal of the arena if you start making dynamic lighting in here. So I think I'm going to actually not have any dynamic lighting except for obviously the outermost wall. We could put the Triton ally in here, being forced to fight something. I wonder if a Triton would... Triton stat block is not terribly impressive, but is not horrible. Giant anemone. Are there stat blocks for any of these things? A swarm of crustaceans. Time to fight a sea lion. Just scrolling through my things and see if I have anything that's... I could search the random encounter table and see... What would that be under? Like chapter 3, I think. Random encounters. What do we got? Underwater, Aldani, Colonites, dolphins, floating debris, giant crab, giant lightning eel, giant octopus, giant seahorses, giant shark, giant spider. Underwater? Okay. Kelpie, killer whales, kraken sighting, lycanthropes. Again, this is the underwater section, right? Okay. Mephits, merfolk, marrow, nereid, ruins, Sahuagins, salty sea dogs, sea hags, sea lions, sea spawn, sharks, storm giant, treant. You could always reflavor a treant as some kind of waterlogged tree. Trolls, Vodyanoi, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and a whirlpool. All right, some of those are a little eyebrow raising for underwater. Are we sure these underwater doesn't mean like on the sea? I think that's like on the surface of the water. It does say underwater though, specifically. What does it say for treant? I'm curious on that one. The treant resembles a giant anemone. Okay. There you go. Oh, that's a cool idea. Shambling mound. A coral-encrusted heap covered in seaweed. Enormous tentacle. It's always tentacles with you people. I kind of like the giant lightning eel. But the players are just going to have a dead eel behind them. So I don't know if that feels weird. Giant shark is too strong. Honestly, I think giant octopus is pretty cool also. And we did not fight a giant octopus before. What is a C? Yeah, it's only CR1. So if you wanted to watch a giant octopus take on a Triton, it wouldn't be the end of the world. So I may just pull off the giant octopus here with the Triton. Although we still need a place. So I mean, then we could just say the Triton was dragged from this cell, which he could, the Lokatha Morgus could report on that. But then where are the other Neverwinter prisoners? Because unfortunately, I added that to this campaign without really realizing, like, oh shit, I actually have to have a place for all these prisoners to go. Now, they don't necessarily have to save people left and right, but they do need to save at least some people, because that's their whole mission here. So I think the arena will have them... I'm kind of leaning towards the Triton, so that's like one of their sub-objectives is to rescue that guy. Here fighting somebody, and then I don't know how the hell... The cool thing would be if they were to subtly like cast buffs on the Triton and just help him win the battle. That could be interesting. I don't know if they have too many abilities that do that. Like Gottwald's runes could maybe do that. They could try to hide themselves by, you know, having that work out maybe. But yeah, getting into a huge battle here would be just insanely suicidal, but this is the party we're talking about, so I don't know. I not have a Triton? Maybe it's under final enemy. Show me a Triton. You're not in there either. Okay. There's a giant sea eel, but that might just be the dead one they're talking about. Why? Okay. Why does this not have all of the stat blocks I need? Triton is also not in here. Probably because I replaced the Triton with my own Triton thing, maybe. Alright, I don't know where the Triton stat block is. I'll just have to grab that later. Alright, so that's the arena, which, again, is going to be absolutely crazy. If they go left or right... Let's see. Man, the stairs look great. This is rooms 51 and 52. Large armory and stores, neglected storage area. Several shark eyes you hungrily as you enter. 5 shell sharks swim above the racks in this room. They've not yet been fed in some time and attack the characters on sight. So shell sharks are sharks that have been blessed by the priestesses. Very much plates of shell and coral are permanently affixed to their bodies. There are sharks with an AC of 18 and magic resistance. That's actually pretty crazy. CR2 sharks. They're also, I think, have more hit points than the average. What's the weak one? Reef shark? Let's look up shark. So that's kind of a tough battle. Unfortunately, do not have tokens. So we're going to have to use our own token here. Hunter Shark is actually... Yeah, Hunter Shark has more hit points. 2d8 plus 4. Wow, 2d10 plus 2. Okay. Still only a plus 4 to hit, though, but they do attack twice. Can I grab this? Oh, there's a devil shark in the creature codex. No, you look way too much like a devil shark. That's not going to work. And then reef shark is the weak one, I believe. Yeah, 22 hit points. Can we get away with grabbing this hunter shark? 'Cause I think that's... Oh, it's the same token as giant shark. Just shells and coral. It's magic shells and coral, though, I guess. Their shells, like, light up. I like the fact that, like, officially, like, armored mounts, basically, of the Sahuagin. And the Sahuagin don't really need to mount them. Tee-hee-hee. Alright, let's grab... If I grab you... But... tell your token that you are medium-sized, but that you are not a hunter shark. You are, in fact, a shell shark. And your AC is now an 18. And I've already forgotten what your hit point should be. Sharks with freaking laser beams. 32 average hit points. That's hit points. Still, though, that's kind of a fun modification for a creature. Like, here's a creature who's normally has an AC weakness, and instead that's like pretty significant. So if that's a wall, then we want to actually, well, we could have, yeah, one of them floating around here. Sharks are pretty fast. I should save one of these over there. Let's roll for hit points. If the characters want to count all the items in here, they find the following supplies. A bunch of random shit that nobody cares about. 70 tridents, 84 spears, 70 daggers, 48 warhammers, 200 nails. I'm going to count every single nail. So, generic loot that we don't really care about. However, there's a secret door to the south that has a treasure chamber trapped with a glyph of warding spell. So first they have to find the secret door, then they get to trigger the trap. A stone slab springs out of the ceiling of the passage, knocking the secret door closed. The creature sitting near the door takes 48 bludgeoning damage. Slab is badly damaged. It does draw attention of nearby dudes. However, that's the real treasure. Canvas sacks hold 500 gold each, and the coffer contains the Baron's personal treasure. So far away from his room. Just more gold, necklaces, nothing that's actually magic items, but a shit ton of gold. Weigh the party down. That's actually some good treasure. And then the stairs leading up. So, most importantly, they do have to reach the second level, which there's 3 different staircases they can use to get up there. They can either go all the way to the south and then go north from those stairs in the barracks, which is fucking suicide because there's a million guys down there, or go to one of these side passages, which again, they're allies, which is going to be really clutch that they can rescue either this Lokotha or the Triton to get some more information about what is going on currently, because the prisoners may know a little bit about the layout of the area and can at least tell you like the stairs, you know, one of these sides or something. And the other side is 48 and 49, which is the barracks, which is crawling with dudes. So either way, they're going to have a fight going up these stairs. Sahuagin Champion with 4 Coral Smashers, a Wave Shaper, and 2 Sahuagin Deep Divers. God, you saw how powerful those Deep Divers are, too. 90 hit points a pop. Jeez. That's crazy. 36 coffers in this room with some money, and the Champion's Armory has some more gold in there. Oof. I mean, they're going to expect it to fight some fights for sure. And that's going to be, I think, our opening layout, and somehow it's already past my crafting time. We're going to spend so much time on this dungeon, going room by room, analyzing everything, what works, what doesn't. They're not going to be able to long rest in this dungeon. There's just no way I see them being able to long rest. So it's going to be crazy to see how they figure this out and manage their resources, try to get their objectives done. It's going to be a huge challenge and undertaking, and it's a giant dungeon. So we'll see how it goes. All right, that is all the time we have for Crafting the Deep. If you enjoy the content, please do check out patreon.com/Rogue Watson. Shouts to Platinum patrons: Joe, Will, Thomas, Stan, Brennan, Genocider, Eclectic Roleplayer, Christopher, Corey, Big Nut, John F, John L, Eric, Tyler, Nathan, Cap Crystal, Counter, Andrew, Dale, Reldrin, Captain 79, Stephanie, Andy, Patrick, Jason, Ismail, Amit, Lumpy Spud, Sharni, David, William, Amnesiac, and Gold patrons: RPG, Paper Guys, Pretty Boy, and Umit, Lizard, Lounge, Sam, Jerome, Nathan, Faz, Legator, Scott, Refus, Carolyn, Jerry, Glenn, Marcus, and Mark. Thank you all very much for your support. I will see you for another crafting episode on Thursday.